Hey. Hello, my name is Emmanuel.
Hey, what's up? My name is Michael.
And you are listening to the Class Prefects. Are you ready? And I've been told I look manageable, like I'm not ugly. Think like a man, act like a Nigerian. Anyway.
Meow, meow, meow.
The Class Prefects.
Sure. That was such a dead end.
Okay.
All right. Wait, no, because I was shocked that we both said at the same time. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to another episode of the Class Prefects, guys. A very special day today. Well, first of all, sorry for missing last week. Life is lifing, and people are busy. So I got a few messages, and by a few I mean two. So if you didn't message me, that means you don't really care about us. It's fine. But to the two people that messaged me to ask where we were, thank you. We're back now, and we promised to. Actually, I know we're going to leave you again, but not anytime soon, hopefully. But yes, you'll find out why we were away shortly. And we have a guest today who has her own podcast called The Spice, right?
Yes.
So, what's the order for this normally? So you can introduce yourself first,
Okay,
and then we'll go from there.
My name is Osas, but I tell people not to just call me Osas. You call me Osas.
Oh, sass.
All right.
Like sassy. Oh, sass.
We love to see it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's it. So I have a podcast, like you rightly said, The Spice. And it's a great opportunity for me to be here. I really appreciate you guys. It means a whole lot.
Oh, sass. I'm screaming. No, I love how, wow.
Yes,
Love
and,
that.
Thank you for always like listening and sharing and being like, oh, good
Sass.
episode and everything. So that's great. So anyway, without further
I love
ado,
that.
we're jumping into. Oh, I'm meant to play a game with you.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
Okay, after highs and lows. Yes. Hey,
I'm screaming. You are recording us for the government. I'm joking. Don't mind me. I'm playing. Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Thank you for reminding me to put my phone on silent. So yes, we're going to start off with the highs and the lows,
Great.
and then we'll do two truths and a lie.
okay.
So think of three statements, and then two of them are true, one is a lie, and we have to guess which one the lie is.
Okay.
So that's it. So highs and lows.
Do you want to
First
start?
off, okay, let me start because mine is short. This person should not text me again because I told you. Sorry, interruption. Highs. And
I love it.
when people want to ask you for something and they're like, oh, hi, how is your day going? Just ask me what you want. Like, don't ask me how my day is because you don't care. But anyway, highs. It's the end of the month, so I got paid for my salary.
Love it.
That's really all that is high. Lows. I mean, high is also that I'm traveling soon. But the low is that I have a lot of things that I have to finish before I leave, and they all decided to drop on Saturday night. So now I have a few days to settle everybody before I run away from here. So that is it. Trying to think of something. Is there anything else of note? No, I think that's it. They had a few. Oh, shout out to the birthday people. Balaji's birthday was yesterday, and our guest Chinazom got married 2 weeks ago.
Aw.
But we were not here last week, so congratulations to all of you, and that's it. Short and brief. Who wants to go next? Jump in.
All right. My high is that I just got back from Dubai. I went to shoot a campaign for a brand first. No, not this is like the second time I believe flown to go shoot, and it was great. The shoot was very, very stressful and crazy because like there wasn't really much production, but I was able that I was spending somebody else's money, and I went to Dubai. That was great. My low is that I have to leave again soon, but I'm trying to, like you said, get like work and stuff done and just like finish everything, which is just like a crutch in my life, honestly, because I'm feeling like how I was feeling again like during the pandemic where I'm not shooting what I like. I'm just shooting things to have money to travel, if that makes sense. Yeah. How about you?
Yes.
All right then. For me, I know it's going to sound silly, but it is what it is. My
That's
highs
fine.
will be that I'm here because
Oh, stop, Johnny.
I'm serious.
This whole thing.
I'm serious. Like I've been trying to really feature in, one of these podcasts some way somehow. I've had a couple of
How old
friends.
is yours?
It's not up to a year. I started during the pandemic, and it was just
Okay.
something
Okay, mad.
yeah. So that's one. It's like a big for me. And then the lows will be that sometimes you just feel like these things are not adding up.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
The money is not coming. Girl, same. I don't think it's anything different here.
Exactly. Like you just feel like your dreams are not even going anywhere, but it's all good.
Ah, no,
It's
don't
time.
worry, don't worry.
Yeah.
I think this is like we did 100 episode thing like some months ago,
Okay.
and prior to this situation you're seeing here, we used to recording like and we've grown in stages.
Yeah.
So don't worry. If things are not clicking, to click later.
Yeah.
And I look at this thing as like a diary or like a journal.
Of course.
So like let's say the first episode now, the things that let's say your highs or your lows first episode. I'm sure by now it's like it looks like nothing to you when you first started.
Of course.
Do you get it? So imagine what Yeah, just be encouraged. Don't worry. I'm sounding like Oprah.
Exactly,
So
like
Tyler
some
Perry, I don't know.
motivational speak.
All right. So next is the game. Two truths and a lie.
Okay. Do I go first?
It's only you,
I'm
my
only
dear.
you
You
because
are the guest.
he's only for the game.
They don't know you.
Okay.
You gotta tell them who the fuck you
You
are.
know.
Okay, so the first is Okay, let me do
Think about it
this.
before you say it, because when you not say the truth and you now pause for your life, we know that that's a lie.
Oh,
So
really?
think about your
Think
three
about the
statements
three.
before you open your mouth.
But do they have to be personal or
No,
anything?
no, please, don't come out as light as they can be or as heavy as they can be. Depends
Okay,
on you.
so let me see. First, I have a tattoo.
Bad
Yeah.
girl.
Um
I'm joking. I'm joking.
and then second is I'm a dropout.
Hey, well.
Yeah, within family.
So there's supposed to be two truths and a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And then okay, can I take it again?
Yes.
Because I think there are so many truths.
But it's okay. That's what I said. Think of your truthful girl. It's okay. You're honest.
Okay, wait. Okay, so the first is I'm a dropout.
Yeah.
Secondly, I have no piercings.
Okay.
And then lastly, I am not in a relationship.
Okay.
So let's
So
go.
me, I've seen your ear already, and there are things here. So that is the lie.
Okay.
So the remaining two are true.
Wait, so one of them is false, Abby.
So it's two truths and one lie.
Two truths and one lie.
Yes.
So the lie is that you have no piercings, because girl.
Okay, so
Yes.
no,
Are these studs?
no, yes. But he's
Ah,
supposed to
I'm
say.
so confused.
No, because you can see, girl. The lie didn't make sense because we can see as
Okay,
you
wait.
should have covered your ears.
Okay,
because,
but yeah, I didn't know my ears were open. but,
Okay.
So I think you're right. Yeah. So I'll just go with the fact that you're
Dun, dun,
right.
dun.
I'm super. I don't even know
So on
what's
this
going
program,
on.
when the guests,
I'm
when the
confused.
host should win, the guest has to transfer 250K.
Are you joking?
Yes, such. It's like, are you joking?
Wait, so those are piercings in your ear.
Yeah, just this ones.
Okay. So that means you have piercings.
So that means
Yes.
the
That means
truth
there were
is,
two
So the
lies.
truth is, I have piercings. The lie is that I'm a dropout. Obviously, I'm not a dropout.
wait.
So you gave
That
us
means you gave us two lies and
and
a
a truth.
I
So
don't
this is
even
your own
understand.
This
version.
game, since we started, nobody has ever come. It has never.
Exactly.
It's always upside down. So
Yes.
just we take it like that.
Thank you.
It's
so
so
I
simple.
think it's not simple
It's so
for
easy.
those that their brains are
It's my dear.
delicate.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it. You're amongst family.
Oh Lord! All right. So yeah, that was that. If you don't understand, rewind and listen again. Just explain it. So yes, we're going to kick off our newsy segment called "Talk of the Town."
Okay.
And this is just where we discuss what's happening, sometimes gist, sometimes topics like last episode. Oh, before I forget, messages from last episode were also very nice. So those of you that listened and were able to identify, we spoke about body issues and body acceptance and
Cute.
everything. And a lot of you seem to like that. So, we'll do that sometime in the distant future. Something like that again. But for now, back to the mess. So, I have only three. What's this for? Three things to discuss today, really. We're gonna start from Let's start from our elders, from the oldest. Bill Cosby. Hi. So, as everybody must have heard this week, Bill Cosby was released from prison where he has served, I think, 2.5 years of his 3 to 5 year sentence, which I think is ridiculous anyway. But from Phyllis Richard to many, I don't know what to call them. So many people have been celebrating his release and seeing it as a rewriting of an injustice that was done. Obviously, if you've listened to this show, you obviously know my feelings about Bill Cosby. I think he's a terrible human being who should still be in prison. And the reason why he was let out was ridiculous, in my opinion. But what do you guys think before we go into the details? How do you feel about Bill
For me, it's
and
like
his
same thing because
thingies?
I'm just like, I'm sure there are, I won't call them hotels, but like I'm sure there are black people that are like whatever system is whatever. Taking a black man to court or taking a black man to police, they just front at it no matter the crime. I'm sure there are people who believe that, but for God's sake, this had to do with like rape, and this has to do with like sexual assault, and just like, however, if you put that person or put the victim in your like shoes and be like, if this happened to your sister, mother, and or daughter, would you still feel the same way you feel about Bill Cosby? Because these are also people's like relatives that he assaulted, and I just feel like the reason it makes sense to me because I didn't bother, like I didn't even, not like I didn't bother to go and read or look for it. I saw that was the headline and I was just like, you know what,
Oh, we'll get
I'm
there.
not gonna give energy or light to this. So that's it for me. What about you?
Yeah, for me, so I think that they obviously were certain reasons why he must have been let out,
Mm-hmm.
which I also didn't read about it, to be honest. I just saw it
I
on.
read, so all you don't. So I will
Yes.
tell you now.
So I saw it. Funny enough, I saw it on your IG story. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I just skipped. Like, man, there's a lot of thinking of. I didn't even read. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
bother. But I just feel if it has to do with rape, I'm not even
Mm-hmm.
talking from the feminist angle right now. But if it has to do with rape, I mean, I just feel it should rot in hell. So that's it.
Fair,
Marvelous. Our sentiments are the same. So
mad.
basically, just to recap the whole Bill Cosby thing. For I think for a number of years, for over a decade, similar to R. Kelly, many women have been coming forward to say that, oh, Bill Cosby drugged me and then raped me, and the stories were fairly consistent. So it was kind of like, these women who don't know one another cannot possibly just be making up a
Sure.
story.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, there were like over 40 women
That's a
who
lot.
had come forward, and it was just like, this is insane. And so what happened was, in not in 1992. The first time he ever went to trial was not until like 2004, which is insane because they've been accusing him for years before. But in that first trial, basically what happened was he made a deal with the DA. If you're familiar with the American system or watch Law and Order or any of these shows, people always try to, make deals with the DAs for lighter sentences or stuff like that. So what happened was this guy, Bill Cosby, made a deal that he's going to basically confess to what he's done, but they're not going to be able to prosecute him for anything that he says in that deposition.
Hmm.
For those who don't know what a deposition is where they just, depose you.
That's
when you sit
same
down,
thing as the position.
when you sit down and you basically give a statement or a speech or whatever. So in that deposition, he basically, which was over 1,000 pages long,
Okay.
he detailed how he used to drug and sleep with these women and everything. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now, unfortunately, none of that was admissible because of the deal that the prosecutor, not the DA, the prosecutor had made with him, which is insane to me, that you can try and make a deal where you are guilty, but they cannot charge you for what you've done. So he made that deal, and fast forward to when he was convicted. Part of what was used in that conviction was that deposition. So because of that, it kind of invalidated the whole case that they brought forward, because they shouldn't have used that content as part of their, discovery or whatever they call it for him. That's what. Is everybody following? Hope you're
I
following.
am.
I feel
So
lost this.
basically, because they used there's a term they use, a fruit of the poison tree. If you watch Law and Order as well, you also have heard that many times.
Okay.
So basically, because they used something that was contaminated, they kind of contaminated the whole case, and it was thrown out. And they were like, "Oh, you shouldn't have used this, so your prosecution is invalid, and Cosby, you are free to go." Now, I don't. I mean, I'm not a fan of saying that because something is law, that means it's right. Because there are many laws in history that have been proven to not make sense and have been overturned. But in this case, I don't know what they can do to like retry or bring it up again. So for now, Bill Cosby is a free man, and it's upsetting to me because the and it's so funny that this happened like the week after the Lil Nas X thing and the BET Awards performance, because I'm just like, you guys made so much of a fuss over Lil Nas X and what he did on TV, but you're the same people advocating for the release of somebody that has raped over 40 women. Lil Nas X didn't rape anybody that we know of as of now. He's living his life freely. But you people have so much hatred. And it was the exact same people, pretty much, that were like, oh, Lil Nas X, you're going to burn in hell. Because we love you, the black community has a victory. I'm just like, I don't get it. And even saying things like, oh, but there are white people that have done what Bill Cosby has done and they're free. That's not the point. The point is not for more criminals to be free. Let them go and arrest those white people too, if that's what you want to do. So those are just some of the things I've heard. I've just been like, I don't even have time to deal with this now, but I thought I should bring it up because it's a huge story. And Bill Cosby, well, not Bill Cosby, his TV characters. Because I think something else is because we all grew up watching the Cosby Show, literally in the whole world. It's hard to separate Bill Cosby from Dr. Cliff, but they're not the same person. I think people have to like. It's possible for someone to be a good actor or character and be a terrible person,
Sure.
and we cannot keep on
So it's called acting.
conflating that, oh, because he makes good music or because he's a good actor or because he's America's father. Because Cliff Possible was not my father, so I don't have such whatever to him. But I do understand why some people would have reservations, but I don't have any such things because if you actually read the files and read everything from the consistency to the number of women that spans across, I'm talking as far back as the 80s until now. And I just don't know how they can get that many women to come together to come and why? Why Bill Cosby? He's not the only black old entertainer in the world. Why not? What's the one that did Lion King? James L. Gray. Why not some other black? Why Bill Cosby? Cosby Show great, different world greats. What's that cartoon? Lil Bill. What's it called? Bill Kid. What's his name?
Bill.
Lil Bill. Awesome. But like, he's done a lot, but I don't think Bill Cosby is like the backbone of the black race. That if you take him down, all the blacks will die. So why Bill Cosby? Would they want to pick up everybody else? I don't know. But any more thoughts do you guys have
No.
on this
No.
situation? That's all. Nothing else.
At all.
Now,
Very
wow.
honest.
Okay. Well, guys, if you have a thought to share below, let us know. What do you guys think about Bill Cosby being released? I would like to hear from someone. I mean, not like to, but I would want to know like a well formed thought from people that actually support him, because all I've seen are just like rants, and he's trying to buy NBC. Which, do you know, Bill Cosby tried to buy NBC in 1992. That was when was that? That was before I was born. So why would something that happened over 20, almost 30 years ago be the reason why they're trying to prosecute him now? And it cost $4 billion. Bill Cosby did not have $4 billion. He wasn't going to be able to buy NBC anyway. So that narrative is also a lie. But anyway, whatever. You guys, down with Bill Cosby and his supporters. They're all trash. And if you support him, well, I don't know what to say. You can watch the Cosby Show, it's fine. But like, you don't have to support Bill Cosby. Wait, what was the show called The Cosby Show when their son name was not Cosby in the show?
The Huxtable.
Because why was it not called The Huxtable Show? Why was it called The Cosby Show?
I didn't watch it. I can't remember.
Questions that need answers. Anyway, before we go off on a tangent, next story. Also about people doing illegal things. I don't know if we should even talk about this because I don't know them. I don't like to cherish our people's downfall. But I put this in there because our third story is connected to the second one. Anyway, so um, no one probably heard this, but the owners of Buzz, the owners of Buzz Bar have been arrested by the EFCC
Who's this?
in conjunction with the FBI. I don't know their names, but the owners of Buzz Bar have been arrested, and
Buzz Bar Lagos.
and it's a Buzz Bar America.
Lagos, of course.
Buzz Bar, yeah, and the reason
Eh?
why I
Buzz
brought
Bar
Yeah.
Lagos, have
yeah,
been? Okay.
and the reason why I
They
brought
said
this
FBI,
up,
that's just like Buzz Bar.
no,
FBI.
they're also included. So the reason why I brought this
Free
up,
Hush
you will hear
Puppy.
about it soon. But so they were part of a $35 million allegedly, because who wants to sue me? $35 million fraud
I love it.
thing that involved the United States.
I love
Wow.
And like I said earlier, just you people just continue stealing from the Nigerians. There's no need, because when you involve the FBI, NSA, all those the Queen's Gambit, if you involve all of them, you are in trouble, because FBI does not play. Look at Hush Puppy. He thought he could hide in
Free my
in
nigga
a foreign
Hush.
country. So long story short, they were picked up by the EFCC, and all their cars and everything were confiscated, and they had Rolls Royce, G Wagon, everything. I'm just like, this is just
Free
like,
my nigga Hush.
this is insane to me, because I so I don't partake in fraud. So I
Really?
cannot talk about the mind of a fraudster.
Yeah,
The
live a
most
life
I
of
do
crime,
is to ask for extra 500 naira if I go to buy something in the supermarket from my parents. Like, I don't. $35 million is a lot of money, and I feel like Buzz Bar is very successful. So they should have been making money in the first place.
That's
So why do you
generous.
need to have Buzz Bars? They're always full, and they're always doing the Dorime thing. So that's bottles. They don't do Dorime if you're buying Star Radler. So I was like, so why the need to engage in such fraudulent behavior? Because you want to be cool, and you want to wear the shades and drive the Land Rovers and
Exactly.
everything, and it's so insane and ridiculous. Because young people are seeing this.
Yeah.
There was a story last month about the young investment scam artist that took people's money, and basically the whole thing he had didn't exist. And business day had written a profile about him as the up and coming guru and everything, and they didn't even vet. It's just like, this
Source of
country
income.
is a joke.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. A publication wrote about this man, Business Day, not City People, and he was just able to scam people's money. But anyway, before I take up the whole time, how do you feel about the buzz, the bar being buzzed? I don't know,
The buzz being barred.
being barred. Oh, the buzz. Their buzz has been barred in prison.
I tell you.
But anyway, how do you feel? What do you think?
Shout out to them. Hope
What do you
they were
think?
smart.
I
in
don't
their
even know who
savings.
they are, to be very honest.
Neither do I. I just know that Buzz Bar is a very popular bar in
Here in VI.
Lagos that
Or
people
where?
go to and
I've
spend
gone
a
there. I've
lot
had
of
a good-
money.
I've had a
I've not
good-
been there before.
not been there.
I've been. It's a den of prostitutes and your boys.
Oh ho.
So shout out to my people.
Yeah.
Now,
Which of the, which
hopefully-
is your people?
Free my nigga
prostitutes
Hush.
or-
Those are not
Free my
people.
nigga Hush.
Those are not my people.
Oh, you don't do
I know-
prostitutes and hellboys.
What am I using them to do?
Only hell boys. I'm screaming. No. So the thing is,
No,
to be
I
honest, I
watch
feel
them
like
on
I feel like
Elite.
Fola Osibo, Ikoyi, and other places are like dens for money laundering and all of that. And at least they be smart in doing their business. So I mean that's some now to go, aspire to yourself. You're not gonna steal the white man's money, you monkey. I know that's how they look at you. So now I was like, once your matter, you see how Desiani was using us to play, and she went up and down, and everything. At least she was just stealing from the blacks. She's our queen. So
That is not my queen.
so, but one is once your matter enters, if you are stealing and you are listening to this, I don't know how, but don't shall go for the white man's coin, because that one, when they catch you, like
Then they'll pursue you.
and sometimes, not that I'm trying to condone stealing, please. Every time I'm saying please, I'm joking, but like still with, not even still with sense, but like as in see the ones your mates are doing, have they caused them? You know how they use you now enter the game, and you now want to access, you want to run before you crawl. Now you're just gonna take the dollar. What will you tell your children now? Because I'm sure these people have children or kids or wives that have been
The
enjoying
Buzz
Ikoyi
Bar
club
people.
since.
Did they have?
What if they don't have,
they have
children?
kids?
Oh, they have family.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, because
They have
one of them
family.
is married.
They have
One is
family.
married.
Yes.
So like now, and I'm sure
And it's like, she's been enjoying.
You watch Power, and you watch things like this, and you know that they make you see from the the children's perspective, or like their wife's perspective. Like they don't even know what daddies do, but daddy brings home the dollar.
But most of these
So
people that do
they
things
know
like that,
what
they
that
do those
is
things for even the
doing.
family. So
that's what I'm
the
saying. I'm not.
excuse.
No, me. I'm saying. I'm saying.
How many Bentley does your family need? It's not only one they used to drive.
I'm not exactly people spend their car. I'm
beg.
just saying. Now look at what your action has caused for everybody. So like it's not just like you're a single man stealing for yourself. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So do better, Shan. Stop stealing from the white
But
man.
the thing
Steal
is,
from these politicians and share. Because if you are doing Robin Hood, I don't mind that. But these ones they still like not that their levels to Yahoo boyery. Do you get? I'm sure
No.
that there's one where they pretend to be I can't remember what was it. Like there's one that you prepare you I think you either fraud them by being like a girl, and then you speak like a girl and have a catch whatever, and then collect money. I'm sure that was there. But the one that you're not going to like go to somebody's account or like go and do those ones, that's like you're stealing. If it's a matter of you woo the man and he gives you money because he thinks you look like Beyonce, in his mind doesn't know that Beyonce doesn't live in Lagos, Nigeria, and has plus 2, 3, 4. That's his business.
I did not advocate for either of them. Let me make it very
I
clear.
I do not think
I'm
there's
not
a good reason
thinking-
to steal,
I'm not-
regardless.
I mean, it depends on see.
Deceivery.
Let's see again. What I would say is, Robin Hood is okay.
What the fuck is this?
If you're stealing from those who are stealing from you, like for example, if I go into the House of Reps now and I just
Steal from
steal
the
everybody's
Somalians.
money, you stole my money. So I'm just collecting back what's mine.
Oh, interesting.
Everybody
But that
is-
way you're not stealing.
Everybody only.
It's like
Only
when you have
everybody.
like -1 + 1 is 0.
Yeah.
It's neutral. That's
So you don't
finished.
know the state of the people that
Well,
are doing
the thing
Bosba.
is, when the thing about money is, I used to have a friend that.
Used to steal.
into fraud.
Please,
Free my nigga,
please
hush.
remove that part. I beg you. But my
joking.
point is, I know that I've read, I've made a research that when
Say that. You go from you know to you read.
It's a slippery slope.
Like-
Once you start, you're just stealing forever.
like, exactly. So when you start with a Nigerian account, you start with you pretend to be a girl or a guy, you get a girl to make phone calls for you. It's not enough. You don't get as much money as you want.
You aspire to aspire.
Yeah.
So now you
exactly,
want to go to the
perspire,
next
to
league.
require, yes.
So that means children, I hope you're listening. Those of you that are still sweets. Before you know it, you'll be robbing banks.
I'm screaming,
That's
please, I
the truth.
beg.
Be
No,
careful.
I stole from the pots one time. Do you see me in
might-
First Bank?
Well, I mean, someone
been
has been to
stealing some
prison
other
and
kind of
somebody
way.
has not.
Don't worry. What bank do you register? What bank do you use?
I don't use a bank.
So it's in your house.
I
Thanks. Don't worry.
So,
Don't worry.
no, but really,
The Ghana must go
but
type.
really,
Naira type will
really, they really went too far because I mean they have, most of these people that even own bars, restaurants, they're in debt.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the boss bar guys did what they had to do.
Oh, because life is hard.
Yeah,
Life
and
is hard for them
everybody.
to. Do you see me inside
But I
the
think-
Union Bank?
Part of the situation is that, I mean,
But they need to
as
keep
someone
up.
who works in that field-ish, the PR and whole situation, many of these owners, I've come here and said it many times, they don't know what they're doing. They don't have a plan. Many of them use their restaurants for picking up girls and for hosting their boys to show that, they have a space to come and chill. If you're opening a business, you have to have a plan. You don't just borrow money. If you're building a restaurant in Lekki at this point, I don't know what sense is in your head, quite frankly.
Why?
Because if you've lived in Lekki from water, pumping water,
Bad.
boreholes, when it rains,
Bad.
so it's kind of like Lekki's already full. So right now you should be looking to things like that, right? And many of them just come into the business like, oh, I want to blow. I want to make money. I want to do that with no plans. And they hire people like me. It's okay. Give us followers. Give us this. I'm just like, but what's your plan? When these people come to your restaurant, what's the experience you're giving them? Places like Ile Eros, like Z Kitchen, like the places that will stand the test of time, focus more on like situations. But again, people always tell me I'm wrong because I'm not a club person. And all that they claim to want is girls and Dorime. That's not what I do. So maybe I'm wrong, and you can actually have a successful business with bottle service and naked girls and no plan. But if that's what happens, I don't know. Let me know. Owners of bars I will not name
We love it.
because, I don't want to be stopped from entering there if I ever show up. But I just think that people have to be careful in how they are stealing money, at least.
You're not even
If
telling
you
them
don't
not
want
to
to.
steal.
Do you want
kind
to
of like-
come on this podcast and do as if the sun isn't shining and the grass is not green and the sky is not blue?
The first thing I said was still from just don't involve the FBI because
Be
they
a
don't
Robin
used to
Hood
play.
and go to First
Okay,
Bank.
can I say something?
306
How about people
227.
coming from the angle of now? I used to be, or another research is
Yeah,
that
we love you are
Don't call
a
her.
thorough,
They did the
a
research.
thorough
You
researcher.
know a bank account and you're
Love
doing
it.
research in your house.
We
You
love
know,
it.
we know your type. The pattern is already
so
clear.
another thing is when you look at the angle of when you look at history, the fact that these white guys made us
I
slave
love where
masters.
you're going with this.
Do you understand?
Because I agree.
Yeah, so that's why.
Reparations.
Yes.
This is, you know what,
Reparations.
my young. This is why we have guests. I love it. So,
So
on second thoughts, I commiserate with my brothers of Buzz. You have done us well.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we're giving back to
It's
you
peace.
know,
They had not say don't go and
give
steal
to Caesar
because
what
they're in
belongs
prison.
to
Do
Nebuchadnezzar.
you mean so?
I love it.
Do you know? I was thinking of Love Galore. I was like, what is Caesar owing anybody? You mean Emperor Caesar?
So that's
These are
this.
I don't
That's
go to
another
church.
angle. It's just
So actually, I actually agree. Wink, wink. I don't. Yeah, colonization was painful.
Yeah.
So it's time for us to collect the rewards
Sure.
of our father's labor.
exactly.
Sure.
Good. So congratulations, I guess. But enjoy your stay in prison. But
You paved the way for others.
yeah. So, but things like that money. That's why. But are they using that money for the betterment of
Family.
us?
That's the thing.
Who cares about your
They
family?
care. They do. They say, "Oh, I'm doing it for my wife, my girl, my guy, my
Your
children, my
girlfriend,
future,
your second girlfriend, the third girlfriend,
side chicks,
they're the
and
one that will
likes."
stab you in the hotel room and leave you.
But that's
and steal
that's
5 million
that's
from your
another
account.
story
That's dark.
entirely.
I mean, but that did not happen. But anyway, then so I brought this story up as a segue because, on a serious note, yes, there are many issues that we have in Nigeria. There's been this thing in Dubai now that there's so many cultists, Nigerian cultists and gang members just tearing up their city to the point where
Mad,
they've
though.
halted work visas for
Yeah.
Nigerians.
Yeah.
When I was coming back from the airport, I knew when I was coming back tonight, I will even talk about how Nigeria to Dubai I cannot enter there, and
My dear.
the flight that they booked for me, I had to now get a new flight at the airport because apparently the airline wasn't landing to Dubai again. So anyway, I got the other. So they booked a brand new flight for me to go to France instead. So I went through France to Dubai. When I was coming back, and if I started meeting Nigerians at the Dubai airport, like, yes, hey, they go Nigeria, I'm like, no, I'm going to LA. No, LA. Just because I didn't want to see.
But now
I'm
one
so
of you.
sorry, yo. I see, area, whatever. I did not want to be associated with you niggas because what the fuck? After the trouble in Nigeria, they called it. I went through the moon to enter this place. Do not come and say because I thought your Ghana must go. I have to not
You
come
have
and sit
to
down in
stay
one
back
corner
and
with
all
my
that,
black
yeah.
nails. I beg.
Yeah.
No,
so-
it's crazy.
So I think, we talk about all the time that, all the things we need to fix in our country and everything. And it seems like, the government is just, I mean, I try to not make it seem as if we steal because that's what our government does, because you don't have to follow the bad examples
No, don't
of
teach
others.
us,
But
yeah.
I feel like if you grow up in a country where
They are
corruption is
stealing.
normal, see, all my life, I have known Nigeria to be corruption. It's just like, don't steal too much or steal, but shall
Just
do
steal
your
and
job.
do your work.
The message has never been, oh, let's get somebody that won't steal. So it's kind of like, what do you expect your citizens to do if from the top, that's what they're seeing? Because it's kind of a thing where everyone is stealing, they're caring about themselves. So you have to care about yourself and your family, so you have to steal your own. So at the end of the day, it's a selfish behavior.
If you know,
Because the
if,
country,
we are here
like,
talking. If you're put
you
in
know.
situations where you had kids, and if you not go and do some things that are food will not come to your table. What?
But I have children. I have 5.
No. I'm
Who
saying.
has 5 children?
I was just joking. Oh,
Oh.
God.
No, this time I just do that if I didn't hear.
I
No,
wanna
you
know
are-
what?
in this hard time.
I'm not married.
In
I'm
this
not-
hard
I
time,
don't have children. Please.
in this hard time, if you're out here popping 5 kids without a general salary, shalom.
but before you go on, if any of you steal and want to
No, if I steal, I'll
alleviate
be very
your
covered. You even
conscience,
I open
our
boutique,
Shukran link is below. So you can tip us with some of that stolen money. We won't
Wow.
report. We won't divulge it to anybody.
And just put
If
S.
you're looking for somebody,
S as your
just
subject.
put,
Just S, so we know it's
put,
stolen.
just put
So when we spend it,
reparations.
we'll just spend. We'll squeeze our face
Put
and
it
spend
there.
it.
But basically, so we've grown up in an environment where corruption and stealing is normal. And the government is trying to make it seem as if they're fighting corruption and stealing money. It's one of the benchmarks of Buhari's platform that is here to fight corruption and lock up all those who have stolen money. And that's part of why this bus bar raid went down, because the EFCC people have been trying to, put on a good show and pick up everyone that's stolen every money from anybody. But where that money is going,
No one
nobody is saying
knows.
anything. But let's just leave that aside. And there's so many rules, right, that it seems that Buhari has been setting up. It started from the banning of importation of, was it rice?
Oh,
Yes.
Twitter.
And banning of so many things. And this was years ago. And it's just
Onions.
like, he's like, oh, let's ban this thing so that you buy the one that's made in Nigeria. But at the same time, you're not investing or building up the factories in Nigeria. So who can make
Those
the things
things.
you want? Chivita has now run out. Very, very selfish thing. Inspired the other day, they were like, you can only buy 2 juice. And I was like, I don't understand. I said, oh, because there's not enough juice. And I was like, but it's made in Nigeria. Like, yeah, that the plant, something. So basically, due to COVID and everything, there's been pressure on goods and services. We know
So
this. Everything is double the price now in Lagos,
yeah.
especially. And times are very hard. And it's kind of like all the things that Buhari has done seem to only make the average Nigerian's life harder. But he does it in the name of, oh, let's foster growth and fight bad things that are happening. Same thing, he brought out the stupid traffic rules two weeks ago. Like, imprisonment for a traffic violation does not make sense
That's a lot.
in any context, unless you have killed somebody. If you don't have a license, your car should not be impounded. Like, oh no, we're trying to stop the road safety. The first thing to solve the road safety problem is to get the downfalls off the street. But we know that they're not going anywhere because everything is linked and connected by people that make money off these things. The BRT buses don't even make any sense. So if you're talking about traffic control, it doesn't start with impounding people's cars for not having licenses, in my opinion. Because I feel like that's kind of the least of your worries, right?
Yeah.
And all that to lead into my final and closing story. Drugs. Some people love them, some people use them.
Exactly.
I just comment on them. I don't do any of the above. So I saw an article that Mexico, is it Mexico? Was it Mexico? Let me not call the wrong country. Because no Mexico, they do sell plenty drugs there on occasion. I've heard by research. So I don't know if it's Mexico. There's a country that just decriminalized marijuana, and I'm trying to find what country it was. And basically, there's like, if you've been reading any news stories around the world, weed is something that is starting to be legalized.
Yes.
Now in America, I think it's like over 30 states that have legalized weed, either for recreational or for medicinal purposes. Where is this country? It was Mexico, correct. Mexico's Supreme Court decriminalizes recreational use of cannabis. This is on CNN from yesterday. And basically, they're trying to do it to reduce drug-fueled cartel violence in their country. And those who are over 18 are now allowed to possess up to 28 grams of cannabis and grow plants in their home. Can you see this peaceful life? I moved to Mexico. But it was so funny because on the same hand, I was listening to Classic FM because that's one of the radio stations I listen to the most. And they were having a conversation about the recent crackdown of NDLEA on people that make like edibles, like brownies and cookies
Yeah.
infused with weed. It's not just biscuit that they are selling, sha. And it's always interesting hearing the older people talk about like weed and drugs, quote unquote, and the effects of the people. Even Buhari said that that's part of what is causing insurrection, drug abuse. And I was like, how many people? It's like drug abuse is preventing further insurrection. Because if they were not sedated, people would be showing up in Aso Rock every day. But that's aside. And the conversation they had was kind of like, oh, that drugs are a vice and you have to catch them when they're young and blah 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 and jail them. And I was just like, I don't understand why in this country we're still thinking from behind, right? the whole issue, I've said it on this show before. Alcohol is infinitely more dangerous than weed along every metric. What it does to your body, driving under the influence, drugging people, on every metric, alcohol is a worse chemical substance than marijuana. But unfortunately, due to the fact that they were able to monetize alcohol earlier, that wasn't deemed as illegal. The only reason why weed is being legalized now everywhere is because they found a way to make money from it. That's the sad truth of the matter. So if we know that's the case, I don't like this disingenuous thing we keep doing where it's like, oh my God, weed is like cocaine and heroin, and it is not.
Not
That's the fact of the
cocaine.
matter. And if any country had sense and seeing that the weed industry is about to take off, what would you be doing? Partake. Build, grow, so that when this is $1 billion industry, right? So that when the time comes, you can, we're importing the strain from Anambra or the one from Imo State. Because I'm sure the weed that grows in this country will be very potent. I'm sure. I don't know what weed needs to grow, but I just feel like Nigeria will have a very nice strain of weed. But instead, what we're doing now is cracking down on people selling cookies and brownies. And every time I see these stories, I'm like, yes, I know it's illegal. But at the same time, what gains are being made by arresting these people, right? What's the point of... Because you're ignoring everything else that's going on. You're focusing on the individual citizens of the country.
Yeah.
What's the point? To me, that's how I feel. I'm just like, it's silly.
Okay.
So that's
I
my
think
long ramble.
I think one of the reasons why, I think the government wants to arrest these guys that take, or people that take weed or whatever.
Those people that we don't know.
Yeah, that we don't know.
I have nothing to say.
Exactly, I know, right? I had a feeling. So I think why they arrest these guys is because they feel like they constitute nuisance in the environment. So they feel like when I don't know, because I don't know anyone that.
I mean, from what I see in passing.
So
I'm serious. I have
so
nothing to say.
they feel like when they get so high, like they say, they start to do crazy things. Those are the guys that rape. Those are the girls that do this, that stab. For instance, the girl that killed her baby, her sugar daddy.
Yeah.
She said she was, I think I read that maybe they are taking SK, or I don't know what they call something.
What's SK?
I really don't know.
Okay.
I read
Maybe.
research. So
Let's Google what SK is.
So I don't know. They said she took one of those things, and then that's what gave her the vibe or the energy or the
I
So,
feel
I don't
like
know.
she always went there with the intent to kill that man. I don't think you
I
drink
just
or
really-
take weed and it's like, oh, now you are an axe murderer.
Yeah,
That's not how
don't
it
even,
works.
let's not even jump into that. But just to say this, I keep saying that the reason why that girl killed that man is just because of money. Because I don't know why you'd be in a relationship with somebody. She said they were not just meeting for the first time, so it means that they've been seeing time in. So that's like her baby, and then you guys are in a relationship, and then one day you just feel like killing him. If you need money from a man or from a woman, I mean, you can ask. So why
Maybe
kill?
she asked and he said no.
Yeah, he said no. You can ask again.
Maybe she has asked severally.
That's another thing. That's
And
why
she
it's not
was
even good
just
to be
like,
stingy.
the
There are a
next
lot of
thing is
stingy
just
men
to-
and women out there. So if
Ah.
you're stingy,
Hey, whoa.
stop being stingy.
I don't think the punishment for being stingy is there.
It's not more than no, but I mean, if you were to be a very cheerful giver, I don't think she would have
But
killed him.
also, this man is having an affair. This is not his wife.
Exactly.
Can
So
we-
exactly. So why have an affair
Yes.
with someone else if you're not ready to take care of her?
I
Just
don't
don't
think that's
even.
what an affair. That's not the terms and conditions of the affair. Oh.
And then another thing, so men actually do that because they say they have peace outside.
Of their home. But now he has everlasting peace. So,
Mine.
he's just done. That's no more worries anymore. But yes, but I'm just saying that it's a thing of, and it's an interesting conversation to have, because when you're talking about something that's being decriminalized, I can't come here and say everybody should smoke weed because it's illegal, right? But I am saying that it doesn't make sense that we're still using many of these. Like, the world is changing, and as much as our parents like to say, "Oh my God, it's scary," things are being brought from the West. I don't think that weed is what is causing people to misbehave in Nigeria. I don't think weed is why people are raping people. I don't think weed or alcohol or any drug for that matter is the reason why Nigeria is in the state that it is now. Because I mean, how much drugs, or do our leaders take drugs too? Do they also
Of
partake?
course they do.
Maybe they should be drug tested.
They do.
They drug test them.
They
Who
take
drug test
drugs.
them?
I don't know if they drug test them, but they take
They
drugs.
take, so that's
They
the
don't
reason
take
why they
drugs. Will
do
they act the way
nonsense.
they're acting? They
I
take
think
drugs
they
now.
would,
They do take drugs.
and that's why they steal money.
And that's why they act funny. Stupid.
Is there proof to back this from your research?
Yes, research. Remember, Osas
Okay.
the researcher.
I don't think. Actually, I don't think that's why. So I'm just not down with any criminalization of things like this because it's silly and doesn't make sense in my opinion.
But for
So
I want
that's
to
it.
ask, weed really medicinal? Like really really. When I mean really, I mean 100. Like aside the fact that I know that someone says, oh, he takes weed because it makes him eat
Mhm.
well. What else?
What do you mean by medicinal?
So, you know,
Exactly.
we have a good friend in this studio. Sometimes whenever we have doubts like this, I call her Googler. Some people say Google. Just ask her Google, and she will tell you what you need to do.
Please.
There are some, strands that strains that help with like depression, anxiety, all those other things. So you can ask the good girl Google, and she
Yeah.
will always let you know.
Yeah.
Me, this conversation, I'm mute.
I
I have
know,
nothing to
right?
contribute,
I want to joke.
nothing to say. I'm just a listener like you, with people listening to my voice.
But,
I love it.
but like it's not going to like cure cancer or anything, but like it helps with pain relief, stress
course,
relief.
yeah.
It helps with
And it
anxiety,
helps to-
depression,
Yeah.
and if you have PTSD especially, it also helps with that. So there are many benefits of it, which alcohol has none of.
Mm.
So don't see why. Let's make everything illegal. Why not? Then let's really see where this
Or make
country will
everything
be.
legal, but above
Well,
18.
maybe. I don't. Well,
Mad.
I'm not everything, sir, because I'm still. Some things should just really be illegal because, the meth. I think some things should be stay illegal. I beg, please. But yeah, I think those are all the stories for this. Is there anything that happened, Ewo, that we missed? Did you hear any stories in your research week that we have not covered? I think we spoke
My
about everything I
research
wanted to.
week. I like that.
Let me see. I don't have any more stories,
Yeah, I
guys.
think
I've
that's all.
literally been packing and trying to run away from this place.
We love it.
So I've not looked for any gist. But that's it, guys. Let us know what you think about the drug issue. Let us know if you don't let us know if you use weed, because if they arrest you, it's not me that's here with you. But let us know what you think about anything we've discussed today. What do you feel about weed specifically? And do you think it should be legalized? Do you think it makes sense for our government to clamp down so hard on the weed babies? What do you think should happen to them? Anyway, with that being said, guys, we are rounding up the talk of the town,
I love it.
and we're heading into the lovely social media studies. We call this SMS, social media studies. It's also a research-based platform where we offer you just some words of advice on how to best make the most of your social media. So this is a very common one, but I've not just said it here before. People that post, and I only wrote this down because I literally saw this morning. If you take a picture of yourself, right, and you look nice, you look attractive, your stomach is looking very flat that day, just post it and like leave
Don't
or
go back
put a
to
nice
check.
caption. No, don't post your picture and then put like, these are the 7 ways to save money on the stock market. Someone literally put a picture of themselves like lying down in their shorts and was like, these are the 5 ways of. I don't even know what I was like. I don't understand. And many people do things like that where they post, oh, looking forward to the future. My past is behind me, and it's like a picture of your ass. And I'm just like,
The ass is the past.
just like no.
That's the behind. The behind is the past.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that's very brief. Just like let your caption align with the picture. Because personally, it's an annoyance.
But sometimes people use that caption because they feel like the picture will attract people to read the caption.
So I mean, but it's not related.
Yeah,
A caption is under a picture because it's expanding on the picture above it.
People don't even understand that
So that's why SMS is here. It's
to
a free
teach.
course, no cost involved. Let your caption match your picture.
Okay.
Or don't do it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how I will perceive your kidney. And that's it. Brief. Social media studies over. Ending jingle. Last but not least, final segment is the notice board. Right. And notice board is where we talk about what we're reading and watching online or in person, wherever it is. Um Ooh, how can I forget one more story? Tabitha. Do you know who Tabitha Brown is?
I don't know, but I know the story.
You know the story of she and Wendy Williams?
Yeah.
Yes. So somebody sent me a DM. I don't know if you listen to this show, but if you do, hello. And they're basically saying that, they don't see what Wendy did wrong, blah, 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 blah. But what happened was Tabitha Brown made a video saying that she is now able to retire her husband from the LAPD because she's made all this money and it's been a dream of theirs and he supported her. Fine. Wendy, for whatever reason, I mean, I don't even know why she even brought up this story, but Wendy. And she said that Tabitha should be careful that based on her experience, once you start to give a man money, he just becomes a nuisance and starts to sleep with everybody and have children out of wedlock, which is projection because that's that's Wendy's own situation. And Tabitha gave a very nice response that's 2 minutes long. I can't read the whole thing, but she basically just was in a very nice and sweet way told Wendy to mind her business
And bless her.
and blessed her. Said, I hope one day you find the happiness within you that will let you live. Because Wendy's, and I said this when she did her documentary and her things, like Wendy is dealing with a lot of internal bitterness and anger that she has to go and fix somewhere else. Because the things she says sometimes, like there's shadiness and gist, and then there's just being mean. And a lot of time, Wendy crosses the line into being mean. I don't see like there's so many husbands or couples or wives who are in situations where one spouse is supporting the other or one is the breadwinner or one and it flips within the genders,
Gender.
especially when you're in show business. Your wife may be super popular, but you might not be, and that's fine. So I just didn't see the point of her bringing that up. But Tabitha, I was so glad by her response. And yeah, so this person basically said, who's messaging me again? Sorry. Was basically saying that, that he didn't like the fact that Tabitha alluded that God was not first in Wendy's marriage. And I was just like, okay, sure. But Wendy, I mean, what was this? I don't think Wendy's marriage is like a template you will hold up of what a good marriage should be from what we've seen and what she said herself that used to beat her and everything. So I don't see why she thought that that was what she would use to judge just somebody else's situation. That's just it.
Okay.
That's my view. That's my point. That's all. Brief. That's all I'll say. Do you have anything to add?
No.
No. Okay. Let me see. I think that's all. So now that's the last story we have. And then notice board time. What have I been watching this week? This week I've been watching. Let me find my list. I've been watching Loki. Loki is now on episode 4, and I think that this was the best of the whole season so far. I'm very excited by where the show is going. And spoiler alert, there are now 1, 2, 3, 5. There are now 6 different Lokis in the TV show. People don't know what I'm saying. It's fine. For those who watch the show, there are now 6 different ones, and I'm excited to see where the story ends. And also, I'm watching, or I watched the BET Awards. Cute show. Don't know why Silk Sonic won best group when they're not even a group. Well, that's okay. And finally, listening to Tiwa. I'm not listening to, but I've heard very good things about Tiwa's new album, Water and Gary, that's coming out. And everyone who has heard it is like super hyped. So I'm excited for when she releases that. And I've heard some names like SZA,
You're not
produced by
supposed to spoil
Pharrell.
those things. You're not supposed to say.
She puts it on her Instagram.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I would hope that we can say it. And
Please
Pharrell,
check.
Pharrell producing is on her Instagram.
Yeah, she said that on Instagram for the Pharaoh part.
So Pharrell is producing it, and I'm just ready for Tiwa to like level up. Even though she's a big star, and I feel like people always put like Whiskey and the rest here and put her like one bar below them. I don't know why, but I hope that this is the one that really gets her the recognition that she deserves. And that is it, I think. I put this here too. Chris and Michelle made a video saying that you people were unfair to her. Do you know who Chris and Michelle is?
No, I don't think so.
Wow, she's a musician who performed for Donald Trump at the in inauguration, and she was cancelled
Why?
because she did that. Because Trump is a racist, and we
Oh.
don't like him. Do you like Donald Trump?
I don't.
Okay, very. I'd have sent you
I mean,
out.
you say your mind if you like him. Nobody's going to judge you.
No, but I don't.
I will.
You
But as long as you don't. Well, so basically, she was cancelled because she performed for Trump, and she's a black woman, so it was kind of like weird why she did it. But anyway, she came forward. She has a new album coming out. Said you guys were unfair to her, and I agree with her because many of you were very silly. And there's also a man on that stage called Travis Green who comes to House on the Rock every month, and nobody did anything to him. So I don't know why you singled out one lady to have your whatever with. So that's it with my reading and watching recommendations. Over to you.
The Real Housewives of Potomac is coming soon. I can't wait for that. I'm watching All Stars Drag Race as well. I love Doja's album. This is the first album of first body of work of hers I can say I like. Then also I discovered this new artist. Her name is Callie. Love her. That's it for me. Ooh, and then Halston on Netflix. By my friend Bio, shout out to Bio, he put me on to it. It's like about a real life fashion designer who read just Halston on Netflix. It's enjoyable.
All right. So for me, I'll just say I saw a movie, Me You Madness. I think everyone should see that movie. I even had
Me
to put
You
it.
Madness.
Yeah, lovely.
Is it a Nigerian movie?
No,
No. Okay.
really interesting. Me You Madness, and I'm going to start the series Sex Life on Netflix. I don't know. We should
Oh,
all
you are
see.
in for a ride, my
Yeah.
dear.
I just
You are
want to see
in
what it's
for-
about.
You will see a lot.
A lot of what?
I thank you for bringing that up. Sex Life.
A lot of what?
Whoever made that program, Omo, I don't know what you were on though. Because I was like, okay, Sex Life, yes, I expect like some friskiness.
There was nothing.
It was a lot. It's like 100. Have you watched 365 Days? That
Yes.
is worse than that.
Mad.
I haven't watched 365 Days, but from what I've heard, it
Yeah,
was a
so
very
I
steamy
think everyone
affair.
should see the movie.
Sex Life is a lot.
I like a lot.
It's actually a lot.
Yeah, a lot is
I had
good
to stop
sometimes.
halfway because I was like, this is yikes.
You didn't
But
like
guess
it, or
what?
you liked it.
No, it's just that, when I'm watching like a TV show, it's not meant to be like porn film. There's like a boundary. But this came very close. Like, am I watching this is the right program?
So did you stop?
Yeah, I did stop, but things like I have so many things I'm watching, so actually I don't have time. So I was like, okay, I'll come back to this because the story was not as compelling for me. It was just like, but again, people like that kind of thing. Just light on the story, heavy on the, on the knacking. But it was also the number one show in Nigeria. So all of you as always are a bunch of hypocrites. Hypocrites that feel redeemed on Sunday and on Sex Life on Monday. The Lord is watching all of you. Continue.
Exactly. And then
Continue.
there's this new guy I found out on Instagram. I think Loj or something. I don't know. That sang this Tono Go. I can't remember.
This is a Nigerian, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then he sang. There was a song he did.
Is that his name?
with
Lil
Wizkid.
J? Okay.
Lil J. There was another song he sang with Wizkid. Attention. Love and Attention. Mad.
Marvelous. Musics and things.
Mad.
So, guys, with these few words, we hope we've been able to convince you and not confuse you that marijuana should not be banned in Nigeria. But thank you for listening. The summer is in full swing now, dears. So get your nice shorts out and your nice shirts. And do not put a caption about the stock market. Just post your nice picture and go. Summertime fun. That's a nice caption you can use. By the beach, in the
Fun.
pool, emoji of a splash. All that is more suitable. Oh, they sent me again. Well, everyone is messaging me. I think it's time to cut this off. Have a nice
Bye,
week.
guys. Love you.
See
Bye.
you soon.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.